Well, hey, Motor Warriors. Today is Monday, the day after VAMM. You know, the Monday after VAMM. And I'm out here going for a ride all by my lonesome. And I was going to have Mr. G 1965. You know, we were going to ride together. But he's got some stuff to do. I think it's really because he rode so much the week before VAMM that he's tired and just wants to take it easy. But anyway, he couldn't go this time. We usually, after VAMM, him and I go for some rides together. But a bunch of people showed up like the week before, and he did a bunch of riding. I really just think he's tired, and I understand. So I'm out here going for a ride by myself. I'm feeling better than I was Saturday. Boy, I tell you, I was not feeling good at all Saturday. That was kind of sad because I'd ridden the long version of the head of the dragon. If you look at the map, there's different ways you can consider it the head of the dragon. And I always take the long way, and it's more than 91 miles. It's more like 110, 120, or, you know, something like that, whatever. But one of the ways you have to go, you have to like cut back up behind you, and it's kind of a cattywampus, all cockeyed, messed up road to get back up at an angle, going up a hill, slanted the wrong way and stuff. And so for safety reasons, they cut that part of the ride out. And it would make sense to me because you don't want to endanger people that are coming to ride with you. But anyway, so I finally, you know, I've been after him for years going, man, we need to take the folks on the back, the head of the dragon. We need to take the folks on the head of the dragon. And then the time he finally decided to do it was Saturday. And man, I was so sick I couldn't do it. I was all out of sorts. But so I'm out here by myself going for a ride. I'm going to go down a road that I call the Switchback Wiggle Wiggle. And it's kind of a fun road, but every time I got the GoPro on, I always slow down because I don't know what I'm going to run into on a curve, and I don't want to be talking and then all of a sudden there's something in the road. I just saw a dead deer back there. I was riding down 81 to go to 77 interstate and come up through that way and go to Bluefield and cut back over, and it was getting dark, and there was deer standing like right on the edge of the interstate. And I'm like, man, you don't want to hit a deer on a motorcycle. Or worse yet, you be out here and hit a bear. That would not be good. You hit a deer and you just injure it, you know, it'll try and run and collapse somewhere else. But if you hit a bear on a bike and you go down and you don't kill that bear, he might come after you and kill you. There's some gravel up in here too, you got to watch that. But hopefully you can get the view of this. I might give you some shots and stuff here and there. But I know this GoPro Hero 4 silver that I use, it never does justice to how beautiful it really is out here. It makes me so homesick for the mountains of East Tennessee. And Matt, if in the event you're watching this video, see it, let me give you a plug here. I got to drive to see, there's the Mattman Tennessee, that's his Jeep, and I use that mug a lot. I'll take a drink with me and put some ice in it, and it'll stay cool the entire ride. I really appreciate that. So I thought I'd give you another shout out in case I haven't given you enough, Matt Man. I gave him a bunch of shout outs because he's from Irwin, which is pretty close to where I'm from in Johnson City. And I like to give out Tennesseans, you know, a shout out anyway. But I hope you can see all that. You know, if you think this is a beautiful view, if you can see it and it turns out beautiful, you leave a comment for me. Let me know what you think of it. You know, do you like seeing stuff like that, or does it not look that nice? Does it not look as, well, it never looks as pretty as it is in real life, but let me know what you think. And I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down or something, just to show me in YouTube that you're watching. And it only takes like a millisecond to hit that like button. I mean, when I'm watching somebody's video, even if I don't know them, if I just happen to watch one of the random selections they offer, unless, you know, what I do is I automatically hit the thumbs up button, because I think it's, you know, you should thumbs up a video that's on YouTube, and then I'll watch, you know, the video, and if it starts sounding like the guy's a nut or the girl's a nut, or, you know, if it's like some girl trying to think, you know, I'm going to get 10,000 subscribers just because I'm so pretty and I walk around with hardly any clothes on, well, then I'll probably unlike that and then just not watch your videos anymore, because I'm not, you know, if you're just using your looks and all that to get views, it's kind of a cheap shot, you know. How about some real content, you know? But anyway, it only takes a millisecond to leave a thumbs up or a thumbs down, so I'd appreciate it if you'd do one or the other. Hey, Motor Warriors. I was on 91 and kind of singing to myself with the camera off and just, you know, enjoying the beauty of the ride. And all of a sudden there's this road sign I've never seen before, and it looked like a dotted line going up the middle of the sign, and then some speckled stuff, and I'm like, what in the world? What are they trying to tell me? And then all of a sudden the road is all gravel going up the side of this mountain here. And I'm like, whoa, is this 91? I don't remember being on 91 when it was like this, so I either missed a turn or they had the road wash out and they haven't paved back over yet. But I hope I don't just get up in here and it's, you know, it stops somewhere and then I got to try and turn this big bike around up on this junk. I'm by myself, and if something happened, you know, you don't want to be alone, especially out here. There's nothing out here, but there's like gravel and potholes and ruts and stuff shaking your tire all over. And it's, if I didn't have experience riding dirt bikes and enduros and stuff for so much of my life, I'd be like petrified about, you know, dropping the bike. But my main concern is that if I slide through this gravel and hit a pothole and it throws me off into the bank and I'm by myself, you know, that would not be a good time. So I hope that this is still 91. But anyway, I'm going to keep on going until it turns back into regular road or makes me turn around and go back down the mountain. But this ain't fun to ride a big bike on this stuff, especially going up hills with cutbacks and whatever. It's got a pretty view here, but I got to watch this stuff because it's pretty bad and I want to watch what I'm doing. Well, maybe you can hear me, but I was going down 91 and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden it turned into gravel and mountain roads that are all twisty and rippled and potholes and whatever. The view's been fantastic riding through this, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather be on a little enduro or something like I used to ride on instead of this 900-pound big bike here that wants to just slide when you stop. But anyway, hopefully you can hear me. Talk about being right up in it. Woo, woo, doggies. Well, I finally got off that gravel, and that was 91. 91 apparently got all tore up, and it goes up the mountain up there and comes down the other side, and I think that's the area that I call switchback wiggle wiggle. But it's worse than the other, and I just got off, and they had, you know, from storms and stuff here, there's two fellers back there on a stream doing some fishing, and I stopped and talked to them and asked if it was still 91, that, you know, if that road was still 91, and they said yeah, it just got washed out. And then they said it's so bad that where you come up over and then you go down through the twisties there, he said it's a beautiful ride, but that road's closed, it's so bad. And I'm like, well, if it was any worse than what I rode on, I wouldn't ride it on this bike anyway. An enduro or something, maybe, but not on this big heavy cruiser. I wasn't happy about riding on what I did, because you start hitting them, you know, that ripply sections, then you start hitting some whoop, 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 and then you hit a pothole or something, and well, you get bouncing around. If you're not careful, you're going to end up in the ditch. And when you're by yourself and on a big heavy bike, it's just not a good road to be on. But so he told me I had to take, since the road was closed on 91 farther down, you know, or farther up the mountain here where I was going to go, he told me I had to go to the left, which is what I'm doing. He said, you'll come down by the river and turn right, and it'll say towards Chilhowie. But I wanted to ride out there on what I call the switchback wiggle wiggle. There's some real hairpins there. That's a beautiful ride. Boy, I wish you could see that water down there. That sure is pretty. Look at that. Can you see that? Man, that's pretty. I'd slow down or get off and stop and show you, but man, coming across that nonsense on this bike, I am hot. This bike throwing a bunch of engine heat on me. I'm hot, sweating, and really thirsty. I need something to drink, so I got to get off this bike and get something cooling down. There's a little waterfall back there, but I got to watch what I'm doing here. Depends on how much later it's going to take me to get down there. Alright, dadgummit. Well, I think I go to the right because it should be down to the right. I don't know, we'll find out here. I'd look at my phone, but there's no cell phone signal out here. But anyway, what a day to ride by yourself. I appreciate y'all, Moto Warriors. And I really do thank you for your time to watch my videos and stuff. But remember to live your life with the heart of a Viking warrior. Bye for now.